This week for my collection of ideas, I did 2 short stories and 2 news articles. The short story I used were both Edgar Allan Poe short stories, um, as requested, and they were actually really useful and a lot better than any of the other short stories that I did. The Telltale Heart, I just did a theme analysis, and I really pinpointed where I could find themes of perseverance in the story. Um, it was quite it was a lot easier to manipulate the Poe stories to work than it was some of the other short stories that I found. But there definitely were hints of perseverance in The Telltale Heart. And the other story I read, The Pit and the Pendulum, perseverance was a much larger theme, and it was definitely easier to find. I used raft, a technique that we didn't really learn, but it was really useful for the short story, which I was kind of surprised because I didn't know how I was going to be able to use it. But it really allowed me to find things that I want to talk about and talk about them more specifically and more in detail. Both of these short stories will be very useful, and it's certainly a lot more useful than the other ones that I found. My news articles were they were pretty useful. They weren't as good as some of the other ones that I had found. Again, they talked about there were news articles about speeches, um, but they were pretty good. The one that I found was actually an essay, and it really applied perseverance. It wasn't just talking about it and showing an example. It was a student written essay, and it showed how they found perseverance to be a really important trait in their characteristics and how it's going to help them throughout their life. So overall this week I thought I found really good articles and things. I'll definitely be using them all in my paper at the end. There were a lot of good quotes I could pull for them, and they were really strong pieces. They all gave me many quotes I could use and new definitions and applications of the theme of perseverance.